right, hello everybody. Welcome to Virtual Cantina's Comic Book Club. And I'm Mike De La Torre.
And I'm Bryce.
And we're here with you from our partners at
Star Wars Comic Book Club and Star Wars Book Nerds.
Thank you,
Both
Bryce.
awesome on Facebook. We are having to MacGyver our way through. These issues unfortunately aren't available online, so we're doing what we can. So bless Mike for having the box and taped his phone so we can see these issues and go through it the best we can. So thank you for joining us.
And it's just going to be Bryce and I today. Lakota unfortunately couldn't join us, neither could Jonathan, but they'll be back with us soon. And let's finish up this Star Wars High Republic Adventure series with issues 12 and 13. And since we were on 11 last time, and let's start with the cover. And I'll go over to a favorite site of mine, which is the League of Comic Geeks. And here's issue 12, the original cover. And it looks very busy. What do you think about that, Bryce?
It's a very, very cool cover. Obviously, it's very, one-sided with just the Nile showing there, with Crix right at the forefront.
And Crix looks very much grown, very mature. He's grown into the Nile, and he's got that angry look on his face.
Yes.
And I love all the masks from all the Nile. And at first, when I saw that gray one, I thought, did that gray one turn to dust, or who is that one, Bryce? Do you know that one in the back?
I don't know who that is. I know it is one of Crix's crew.
But nice cover, and it is all one-sided. Let's look at the alternate cover. There's one variant cover. Here it is. Very different looking from the main cover. Yep. And I like the colors. This one looks a lot more positive.
Yeah, very vibrant.
Yes.
Total opposite of what we're getting with the main book cover.
And this is you get a different feel for it because this is Lula Talasola with her master or former master. That's still her master, right?
Yes, that is correct.
And so this is like the positive side cover issue, and then or the light side, and then the dark side issue would be the one with Crix. So, and definitely this has a lighter feel, more positive. I love all the colors. And I don't know if it's just me, but I can like feel the force in this painting, like the imagery.
This is a really, really cool cover. This is actually my first time actually see. I didn't even know what the retail incentive one looked like. This is actually pretty sweet. I wish I would have been able to snag one of these myself.
It's nice, right? Yeah, I like it. I just found out that the retail incentive covers, they only have one for every 10. So they have to order 10 of the main cover and they get one retail incentive cover. I didn't know that. I'll be looking out for those from now on.
Yeah. You gotta have and the way most comic books shops work is like, in order to order 10, they know that they're going to sell through those 10 or at least a significant portion of them, so where they're not sitting on back stock.
Right.
So,
all right. So these are the only two covers for this comic. And let's get back to the League of Comic Geeks page, if I can. There it is. And so it says, let go. The Padawans and their masters rush to Corellia, where Nile inductee Crix Camerat has been planning his next attack. Lula struggles with their new responsibility, while Zine struggles with Crix's quick descent into evil. Both girls worry for the other, but are distracted when they're split up and hear a mysterious distress signal. Here we have the characters in this issue. We've got Bibbs, Kentum Sai, which is Lula's master. We've got Quart, who no longer has a mask. We have Tapagan Pack, not sure who that is, but we've got Zine.
I believe he's a Jedi.
And Zine, which is Lula's best friend. And also Crix's former best friend,
Yep.
Farzala. We've got Crix, of course, Camerat. We've got Ram Jamaram, one of my favorites, and they should have a picture of him because he's been on a lot of issues. Torben Buck, Ishnar, Lula Talasola, Sabata Krill, who left her sister. It's just really bad. And Yoda.
Yeah, we might find out just how evil Sabata is in this issue.
Stop sharing there. And so let's look at this issue.
All right.
Opens up. So I've already read the introduction. And here we see a flashback to the Jedi Temple, Endevar. And it says then. So this is when Lula Talasola was a very young Padawan. And there's Master Yoda. And then Lula's learning lessons, and they're about to teach her one of the most important lessons. And Lula's like, oh, is it the front flips with the lightsaber? They're like, okay, well, maybe this is the second hardest thing to learn because those are pretty tough. And even Yoda's like, oh, that's right. Front flips with the lightsaber, not simple. And we see an instructional moment between Master and Padawan. And I like that in the High Republic, we've learned a lot about how the Padawans are trained by their masters, which is something we got very little of in the films.
Yes.
So it's nice to get that more detailed mentorship between Padawans and masters.
Yep. We see it a lot in the other Marvel book between Keeve and Skier.
Yes, a lot. And I like that one too because it shows a lot of the conflicts that we really didn't hear about in the movies.
Yeah, and then for the life of me, I can't remember Burryaga's master, but that is across. You see that in a lot of the books is Burryaga and his master and how they do their relationship and how they train and everything else as well. So,
and I think that this, especially with the title of "Let Go," is leading us towards that the most difficult lesson is being able to let go of attachments.
Yep.
Which is something that Lula's definitely been struggling with. Anything else you want to say about this?
No, it's a simple introduction, kind of, a little bit more of a backdrop of Lula. We've always known Lula as being a very talented Padawan who is, we get a lot of her thought process throughout this series is always, feel like she was destined to be a Jedi Knight, and is that still the case? Well, we'll find out.
And not only destined to be a Jedi Knight, but a great one because she's so talented.
Yes,
that she was just picked up on the spot when she was discovered. And that's, of course, if you've read the Midnight.
The Midnight Horizon book.
There's a lot of good connections there. And so now it goes back to the Starlight Beacon, present time, and they're all collected here talking. And of course, here's Lula, very much grown and looking very different from when she was her child self, her little Padawan self. Although she's still a Padawan at this moment, right, Bryce?
Yes. Yep. Her, Farzala, and Quart are still Padawans.
And I love that you get all this inner dialogue where Lula's thinking all these things, and you see that she's speaking somewhat, but mainly you get her thought process, what's going on in her mind, which is really interesting because you don't typically get to hear their inner dialogue.
Right. Yep. That's kind of how this series started too. So
that's right.
There was a lot of dialogue with Lula when they were first set out on their mission.
And then we have here, they've received this distress signal, and this ties in very directly to Midnight Horizon. So I really I enjoyed that connection. And then we find out that she's going to be assigned to a new duty. And so we have Lula's inner dialogue, and then we have Zine's.
Yep.
Hers is in pink.
So I like how they've done that. And again, that goes all the way back to really that first issue as well, when we first see Zine come in her thought process. It was all pink. So it's like things are coming full circle.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's good because this series is coming to an end. So it's nice that they're wrapping it all up together. Yes, because I do really like this series a lot. Very good series. And then we have here, we go out into space where we have one of the Padawans who's sitting out waiting to see if he can catch anything. He's been sent out and he's like, nope, nothing here. Then all of a sudden we get these alerts.
No.
And he says, oh, yes. He's like, oh, there's an aisle here. I'm in pursuit. And it is Sabata. I really like this image right here.
Yeah, no, it's a really good one.
Yeah, really good. I like how they show the detail and it's really good.
I love the vectors. I think the vectors are really cool.
I know I'm hoping they make vectors for me to collect, even though I have no more space for them, but I want a vector.
I would love to have a 6-inch Black Series Buriaga.
Yes.
And a vector. Just listen to me, Hasbro. It's a gold mine. Trust me.
Yeah. So here we go back to Starlight Beacon, and they're getting ready for their missions that they're going to go on. And Lula's been assigned a very important mission. It's her first one, right? That she's.
Yeah, and I think this is where Zine and Lula, I think they're both on the same mission.
No, I think they went to two separate ones because she's going to Corellia.
Okay.
Isn't it? Or
it must be. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think you're right. But I think what we find out is they end up at the same place.
Right. Right. So here they are. They're going to be sent out. They all decide they need to go help.
Bunch of vectors. I think the Skyhopper, I think is what the one ship's called.
This big one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I like that one too. That one reminds me a lot of the ones from the Matrix.
Oh, yeah. Very true.
So they're all going out. They're all unified for light and life. And they are all going together. You're right.
Okay. Yeah, I think the split is in the mission, but then they end up coming back.
Oh,
together.
right.
As far as Lula and Zine go, I think their mission's the same place, but one goes left, the other one goes right, and that's where we get a little more interesting dialogue.
And then we hop on over to this was the Jedi side. Now we're going over to the Nile side, and we see Crix, and Crix is wearing. He's here talking about his mission, and Crix's mission is part of Marchion Rose
master plan. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's tied in a lot too, also to the Midnight Horizon. And we find that he is being a little bit bamboozled by what's her name? Sabata, yes. Because he was planning something else, but then she had other plans.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is very Nile-like.
Yes.
Because they're just backstabbers.
She is very, very cutthroat.
Mm-hmm. And so here Crix finds out that Sabata already took off, and he's like, what? Not going according to his plan. And then we have a galactic data file.
Mike's favorite.
I do. I love these because I want these in a collection because you just learn a little background.
It would be cool. It would. The galactic data files would be pretty cool if they did a little mini book.
Here's the encampment. Here's the Anti-Spacecraft Cannon. And at first I thought it was on Kashyyyk because of this tree.
Right, yeah.
But no, it's somewhere else, but it's very similar. And then we have their large spacecraft hangars, their small spacecraft hangars. You see their
They
ships coming
definitely
in.
they're definitely kind of shielded when you think about it. They're a little bit shielded from above. You can't really tell what's going on. The cannon's a little bit hidden by the canopy of the tree.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a cool little base for what we at the beginning thought was a bunch of ragtag marauders.
Right, because they seem to be just like not stable in any one place, just like all over the place.
Yeah.
But this looks like it's pretty stable. And so then here we have the Jedi coming in and they start getting attacked. They didn't expect this. They thought there was nothing out there. And here's a great view of this is a Skyhopper, right?
Yep.
I love that ship. Looks really good. And you have all the vectors. And then you hear them trying to stave off the attack. And then here's Zine. And she knows that Crix is there. And Crix is like, oh, I shot you once before when he was on that junk moon.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Although that was an accident. He's like, I'm going to do it again. So then Zine's heading towards Crix. And of course, he does shoot her down. And then Lula's senses it. She's like, oh no.
Yep.
And Zine's coming down. She's like, I'm going down. And she kamikazes her vector right into the gun. And Crix makes it out. And here he is running through. And then Lula finds Zine. She's like, oh, you're okay. Crix is trying to get out. But when they go into it's like a tunnel.
Yep.
They're like, which way are we going to go? They have to split up.
Yep. This is where that split happens.
That's right. So Zine goes one way, Lula goes the other. It's Zine going right, Lula going left. And they're with Farzala and Quart.
Yep.
Of course, Quart no longer has his mask. He's all grown stuff.
Yes, he's outgrown the mask.
Mm-hmm. And then Crix makes the discovery that
Sabata has betrayed him.
Yeah, Sabata leaves a little recording for
Very
him
interesting, interesting page there of dialogue.
Yeah, it's a good one. And I love that the artwork in this comic, in this issue, it's more detailed. It's not as cartoonish.
Yeah,
So like
it went back to what we were used to at the beginning of the series. So
right.
Yeah, they tried something there a little bit, in the middle, and it was different. I didn't think it was bad, but this is just, I think, much better.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't bad, but I like this more.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand.
Siri. Oh, it was me, Mike.
Oh, okay, I thought it was me. All right, so then here Crix finds out that she's left him like in a trap, in a pickle.
Yeah.
Either way, he's gonna die. And she's like, you die a coward or you die a hero, your choice.
Yep.
And so he's, confused now. That's not what he expected.
And this is very, very interesting. This is really more of like a double pager.
Yeah.
But this goes back to, seeing Lula's thoughts there in blue, scenes in pink, and then you can kind of see Crix's is there in the middle.
Yeah.
What's going to happen? Are people going to come around the corner and shoot and friendly fire is going to take somebody, or is Crix going to get off a lucky shot? This is where he kind of the most suspenseful part of the whole issue to me was what is going to happen right now.
Yes. And you can see that Crix is in a panic here. He's not sure what to do.
Yep.
Because he's going to have to make a decision pretty fast. He doesn't have a lot of time. And I really like this one. And I wish this had still been in Comixology, because I like that guided reading.
Yeah.
And it would go, because it was hard for me to read it, although I read it from top to bottom. And I did like seeing that it was, Lula went off to the left. Here's her side. Here's Zine went to the right. Here's her side. And you see they're both simultaneous thought processes.
Yep.
And then you see that they're merging out and kind of
Yep.
blending. So when I read this part, I'm like, wow, they're like a dyad in the Force.
Right.
And because they're very connected. So I thought that was really cool. I liked it a lot. And you can see how their pink and blue turned kind of like purple.
Yep.
Just blended. I like that a lot. Even though Zine hadn't been trained as a Jedi.
Right. But she's very Force sensitive.
Very powerful, yes.
Yes. We find a little bit more about how powerful she is in issue 13.
And so then they're going through, they're both getting up to the same place, and then they smell the danger, which is the Rhydonium, which was the trap that was set up for Crix.
Yep.
Because either way, any little sparks can set it off. And then Lula knows it right away. She's like, Z, no. And it looks like she force pushes, right? Or just like a force close. And then she's in there with Crix. And then she says, you come here. And she gets him. And battle ensues.
Not really much of a battle. It's pretty one-sided.
Yeah, that's true.
He attempted to struggle.
But they easily overpower him. Then they've got him.
Yeah.
And they've got him alive.
Yep. And Farzala there, like, I like how they have him, with his lightsaber, and how it's pointed. Lula's obviously there too, but Farzala kind of stands out in that bottom slide for me a little bit more than the rest of them.
Yeah, it looks really good.
That green's my favorite color of lightsaber. So
I love how they look so grown. They look
for sure.
They're very mature.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some growth in these 13 issues.
And then here at the end, the conclusion of this issue is our Jedi were successful. They've captured Crix, which was their goal, and they're going to be heading back. And it says to be continued in the next and final issue, which is 13.
Yeah, as you can see, very Jedi centric cover.
Yes,
for that.
Love this.
Love that. It reminisces back in, I think, the very first issue of the Marvel main line at the end. At Starlight Beacon, they're all dressed in their ceremonial robes doing a very similar thing. So I thought this was a really cool send-off cover for this series.
Very similar to when Keeve gets knighted, right?
Yep.
When she thinks she's going to be in trouble and she's actually being knighted.
Yeah.
Starlight Beacon. She was the first one to be knighted on Starlight Beacon. So
yes,
very nice. So any final thoughts, Bryce?
Great issue. It's a quick read. Issue 13 was kind of is similar to that. We'll get into, in our next session. But very, very good issue. And a perfect setup for I think a great send off for the series.
Yep, getting ready for our finale. So hope you enjoyed this one, and also sharing some important news, some fun news about Star Wars Celebration. We're going to have all of the authors present, right?
Yes.
So that's going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have a panel. What do you think, Bryce?
It would be interesting to get a panel. I hope maybe they're all maybe at the Del Rey table doing autographs. I know some of them were doing that in 2019 in Chicago. They had a lot of authors at the table that were doing brief little signings, separate from like Timothy Zahn, who's a whole different creature in himself.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. A panel would be a really cool, or if it's just maybe a side panel, that's not maybe a huge attraction, but what those five did, and between the comics and junior novels, young adult novels, and the adult novels was unreal. Like really, really sparked me into doing a lot more reading. I've always been a comic guy, but now really heavy into the books too. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I agree. And I love how they've connected everything together, because I was more of a book reader. I've always liked the comics, but now they're so tightly connected.
Yep.
And I just feel it's so, and the nice thing is that one thing, so the books give a lot of information, but now the comics also give a lot of information that's not in the books, and vice versa. So when reading everything together,
Yeah.
it just gives you such a rich picture of the entire journey. And
Oh yeah, more that or moments like throughout reading. Whether you got done reading a novel and then you're getting caught up on the comics and you're like, oh wait, man, that just made the book better, or wow, that book just made the comic better. So a lot of
exactly. Yes,
the bar's set so high, and I'm really excited come October when we actually go back in time into a prequel. I love how they're setting this up just like Lucas did, with the original trilogy movies. It's kind of what we went through here with the different little phases. With phase one, we kind of had the original trilogy. Now we're going to go back and do the prequel, which is
phase
great.
two.
So super excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, please be sure to join us next time with the issue 13, which is our conclusion for the High Republic Adventures. And we'll also finish off with the Great Bake Off and the annual.
Yes. Looking forward to those as well. So,
all right, Bryce.
Thank you guys for joining us. Again, check us out, Virtual Cantina Network on YouTube. We're also on the socials with Virtual Cantina Network on Twitter and Instagram. And then, come on by Star Wars Celebration Anaheim 2022 Facebook group, along with Star Wars Book Nerds and Star Wars Comic Book Club.
Yep, we hope to see you there, and may the Force be with you.